Welcome to the A Starship. My name's Kale, and we are grinding out some low-level C++ code. It's all contiguous with a bunch of pointer arithmetic, nonstop. I found a bunch of bugs because, we're using the open code and then local LLM with like 80 gigs of RAM. Went through and had it analyze Nanobot, which is like an OpenClaw version in like 4,000 lines of Python. So that one's good for porting to C++ for CrabsClaw. I don't want to say porting for what is the legal terminology? For um, transforming into CrabsClaw using our own unique intellectual property. Right? You got to be careful with that. So these are the files that or the functions that I have to implement. Not a whole lot. I just need the strip starts with, ends with. I do not have regex, but that's definitely on the list. The we have this stuff. I'm not sure if it has all these functions. I have like a C library. I'm trying to wrap either this C file library, whatever the standard one is that most people use, or C++ 23. So it's like we're like a backwards compatibility layer with our own complete redo of the C++ standard library in the core of C++. We're going to add a JSX engine. What does that mean? If you don't know what I'm talking about, JSX is like React. So it's like basically adding React into C++ with like a completely revamped under the hood with agentic core using the Chinese room with all contiguous ASCII data types. I think the ASCII data types thing is the coolest thing about this project. um, but the CrabsClaw is going to be very cool because we are like an all contiguous virtual machine. Well, okay, I don't have virtual registers, but we'll add all that stuff at some point in time. Uh, we are, a virtual machine is like a machine that is like, there's two types of virtual machines. There's one that are like down to the register level, which is what you use for a compiler. And there's also a abstract stack machine version, which is a little bit higher level, but can be quickly modified to add the lower level stuff. It's just like it's like your most basic Turing machine compared to a fully featured compiler. And we are this way by design because we run as fast as it could possibly run. So what's going on? I have spent most of the day trying to get the Live Coding Alliance together on GitHub. Oh wait, hold on. No, you're not supposed to do that. Okay, is that it? We'll create the ticket. I got this A startup technique with my issue ticket. So right now I have to do it by hand. It's kind of stupid to do it by hand, but uh, because it's a pain in the ass. But I got a really good idea though. Where is the? We got the A startup toolkit. Oh wait, hold on. You can't even see what I'm looking at. I'm so sorry. Live Coding Alliance. What do we got? We got the Live Coding Cookbook, a open source guide to productive, innovative, and profitable live coding agentic engineering or and agentic engineering, right? I don't like, I mean, I like hack the algorithm, right? I don't like how long it is. So you got to imagine the title. It's just, open source is irrelevant. It's a guide to productive, innovative, and profitable live coding using agentic engineering to hack the algorithm. I mean, I like it. It's just, I don't like how long it is at all. Then we got we're going to have a website and an app. Then we got the OBS multicam plugin stub. Oh, can't see anything. We can't change that. So that one, what that one's gonna do is whatever I'm doing with my thing over here with my multicam setup, which is like, do I have it set up? Oh no, OBS froze up on me. Oh, oops. All right, sorry. It's not the way it's supposed to work. OBS is freezing. Taking a shit. See, it's like I could change my camera. Can't really see it too well. Well, OBS is locking up because I need this plugin. Because I have too many keyboard shortcuts. I got too many different things, too many different sources, too many cameras. So I need a way. I have like 7 cameras here, and like they're like at like, what is it? 90 degrees, 45 degrees, 0, 45, 95. I got another one up here, top down camera, and I have an HDMI switcher. It's like a matrix. And so it's 6 in and 2 out. So we take 2 HDMI capture cards and I switch the HDMI signals using the matrix. And then I have one main camera. So the main camera in the center is not on the switch. So the switch goes around. Can't really do it right now because it's all freezing up. But what does it do? It's basically allows me to use a serial RS-232 connector to like switch my cameras out with the switch, or using also like an infrared LED to blink the signal if I don't have an RS-232 port on it. I've been planning that one for a while. Hasn't materialized, but now we have vibe coding. So that's why you should like and subscribe down below, because that is actually going to be going off. I am an engineer and I'm very good with serial ports. So it's just been everything else has just been too much work. So what else is there? OBS screenshot source. This plugin is extremely basic. This is going to be the first one that I'm going to do. What it does is it's a source in OBS that I can take a screenshot and I can save multiple different sources in one screenshot. And then you'll also be able to use this to upload one of them to your YouTube thumbnail. So what that does is, one, I have a green screen. So I need to take a thumbnail that has the image for the green screen, and then I need to save the image of me, like green screen with like the green screen blacked out. Basically just me cut out and just me, just for the midground. And that allows me to edit my thumbnails a lot quicker. Then we're doing the OBS live coding IDE, which is a IDE plugin for Visual Studio, utilizing a browser widget that is going to allow us to create an IDE inside of OBS that allows me to automate my console thing here to be able to select different debug windows using my OBS scene set. OBS FX, that one's dead. That was yeah, fuck that Zamer guy. That dude's such a piece of shit. He even had to change his GitHub name because he's ruined his name with this whole OBS FX. Everybody was reliant on these who used OBS for a long time, and then this guy decided he needs to get paid to do his little baby pet project. This is an open source project, GNU. And then he wanted to do this AR toolkit in it. And he said one day out of the blue, oh yeah, you can't use the API anymore because it's got some license thing or something for the AR toolkit. And he just pulled the rug out from everybody in the community. Like millions of people relied on this. And he would kick anybody out who was trying to say, hey, look, just split off we just wanted the shaders. That's it. And the blur thing. That was it. That's all we wanted was the shaders and the blur thing. But no, he had to be a total jack, and he was like, he's German, and he was like, he's woke. So he was a total jack to everybody. I don't know if you've ever had to deal with any of these woke Germans. It's like, they're like militant gays over there. Woke and thinks everybody's coming after him. So what do we got? The other thing, now that we've said fuck Zamar, is Touch OBS. And what this is a GIMP integration for OBS that allows you to create graphical user interfaces using OBS scene sets. And so this came about because I ran a news show for a long time and I just needed to be able to click on various news stories. Like I needed to display the news stories and then get them to display the news stories and then read them in OBS. And you can't just like make like a scrollable thing for the news story. It was a whole nightmare that required a lot of infrastructure to be able to do it. So that's what Touch OBS is going to do. It's like, well, one other problem that Touch OBS is going to solve is putting borders around text. Because it's in OBS, it's a pain in the butt. You can't just be like, put a border around this text. It's like, you got to go into the Photoshop or GIMP, and then it's like a royal pain in the butt. So one method to get around that, though, is to utilize browser sources with CSS. So I haven't explored whether or not that's like a better alternative. But regardless, I think that we need to create good UIs. Oh man, I can't stand it. Sorry. So that's the Live Coding Alliance. Now, what are we doing over here? This particular live coding stream is the A-Star Starship, and we're working on Crabs. So you can find that at github.com/A-Star Starship/Crabs. And then this is what we're doing today. So let's get to it because that's what you clicked on. Didn't really click on the Live Coding Alliance, right? Sorry. So what is the problem? So I wrote this Unicode library. Well, hold on. I guess it's not really a Unicode library right now. So here's the Unicode byte code for the UTF-8. All right, so we got this issue. I've been doing this format which is pretty standard. You print. If it's successful, you return the basically the pointer to the where you wrote the null terminator character, or the null term char, is what we usually call it. So we've got this bit pattern. So I bozoed it. I've been just like I just keep adding stuff on, trying to get to the end goal, and then some stuff is not debugged, and we're like, what is this? I like this. I think the way that it works most of the time is pretty good, but let's look at what the AI wrote with my code. So this library is designed all contiguous so it can auto grow from stack to heap. It's an advanced design. It's old, but it's still revolutionary. But yeah, requires a lot of tooling. So we have little errors like this. Well, actually, that's not the error. There might be an error here somewhere. Is this it? So these are allowed to use the plus because I'm scanning, but there was, I think it's in the stringf.hpp. So this stuff is split up into 3 files. You think people are complaining about having a header file? I got 3. And the reason for it is it compiles the fastest. Because you want to not have to include anything that has a template or any inline code. If you can. You only want this stuff to compile. You want the compiler to only have to run over this code with the preprocessor macros and compiling code. You only want that to happen once if you can do so, ideally. Because we do this in C++, we got these little includes, and it's just like these files are strings, and it just includes a string here. And it says you can't, people say you can't include a CPP file, but that ain't true. A CPP file is like a translation unit. So what that means is that it has its own static memory. It's like, a process, like a .exe file. You load that up, and it's going to have its own static memory section. And so this is the key that you got to understand about my design, is that we only use one CPP file, and we include the CPP files renamed as .hxx. Okay? So that means it's always going to compile in like 3 seconds. It's like crazy fast to compile. And that's from a cold boot. And yes, with software projects, you can actually get it to compile quickly after you've already compiled all the things. But then you got to build these projects, and then it starts taking forever. It can take hours to build a project, 45 minutes to run all your tests and stuff. So that's the benefit of my API, is that it's so old. I used to do this a long time ago, but I stopped doing that. Like, what is this? Maybe the LLM did that. I don't know. I haven't had the LLM touch the code very much. But we got a problem where I bozoed it. We got some stir plus plus. See, this is absolute bozo. Like, this is just like I should be laughed at and made fun of by everybody Don't ask me how that slipped up into my code, dude. I don't know what the hell, man. Like token end. I should not be doing this. This is like something you use for a function. So the problem is I was like half-assing my string print functions to work with Unicode because I'm an English speaker, so I don't need other languages. Like I'm just fine with only using English, but like the rest of the world isn't that way. So we have to work with UTF-8, UTF-16, UTF-32, and ASCII strings because we are the ASCII Data Spec, and to not have ASCII data strings would uh, I don't think that I could live with myself if I had made that decision. So requiring that we actually support ASCII strings, this adds a whole level of complexity to this that I didn't really want to have to add. Oh, hey, somebody wants to view. My view counts are pathetic. I don't know what to say. So I have these string scan things, and this is how I'm scanning the. Damn it, I really hate that. Okay, so I need these scan back functions. So the problem is, how do you detect the difference between a UTF-8 string and a ASCII string? Because they both use a 8-bit character. So printing isn't too bad. But like I'm doing this format. And then there's like some cases. This works pretty good where I'm like just scanning like, but this is like, here's the where it breaks down. How do I tell the difference between this and a UTF-32 character? Right. And I think that the answer is actually really simple. That took me a while to figure out. Is that this has to be ASCII, and then I can't really. This is not. I don't think that this should exist. In fact, why don't I just go ahead and uh, I don't think that that function should exist because I should really only be scanning a either an 8-bit character. Like this is an ASCII string, but this is not. So what do we got to do? I mean, by we, I mean me. What do I have to do? Stringf.hxx. So here's the string scan function. So it looks like I already have it. I just but why is this in here? Is it because okay, so this is not in line. I don't know if I'm supposed to inline this function. But why do I have this one? Why? Oh yeah, because it's inline. Okay, so here is where I'm having like multiple armies clash together here. So in C++, if I mark the function in the decal in the .h, so this is called the decal, the declaration. So I can't just like go in here. I shouldn't really have these live member things because I don't really think that this is going to be used to build a DLL that I'm going to like interface with. That's like something you would build with this library. But it doesn't really make sense to make like a DLL of the library. I think this is just bozo. I should probably just delete all this stuff. It doesn't really make sense to me to have it. Let's just get rid of it. That is so noise. I don't even want to have to explain that. I think that was just me kind of thinking I was going to make a DLL out of my library, but that doesn't really make a lick of sense. It's like you build a DLL for your app. This isn't like an app. It's an API, and then everything needs to be in your DLL. Like you're going to make the DLL. I'm not going to like make my DLL in the API and then you make your DLL and then we're like making little DLL babies passing things across the assembly line like some STDs and shit. Or assembly line boundary. Sorry, screwed that joke up. What are you going to do though? I don't think you're going to do anything about it, huh? So the inline doesn't really work here. I probably shouldn't even put it in there because I want it to scan as fast as possible and it's the extra tokens. It just doesn't do anything. So if you want to do the inline code, the what am I trying to say? So you import the decal, like the .h file, and then I'm getting the API in here. But I don't want to like this file is already really big. I'm trying to compile this thing as fast as possible. You got another API. You got to compile your thing on top of this. So, I don't want my compile time to like have any sort of noticeable impact on the compile time. So we put the templates in the .hpp file because then you can, like, if I'm only declaring something, then all you really need is the pin all the files we're working on. I'm not really actually working on the clock. Um, so the question is, where does that inline code go? Does the inline code go in here? Because like, I mean, this HPP file is where, um, like these functions right here. I just don't know if they should go there because like they're decal in the here in the stringf.h. And then this one is herein lies the problem. Is if I put my inline code over here, I now don't have all the code in the same place. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It makes everything confusing because you're like, it's hard enough to understand everything without that. So I'm going to move this code over here and just only put templates in the .hpp file because I don't even want to have to explain it to anybody. Like it should just be one of those things where it's like, it's the uh ugly redheaded stepchild that is fat and nobody is really proud that that's their sibling and they just kind of like, ignore them and they just let them be wild. We'll just treat it like that. There we go. Let's go. That makes a lot more sense. So char is printable. Wait, is printable. That doesn't make sense. Equals 9. Tab is printable. Is the tab printable? It's white space though. Like, what does that mean? I don't like this. Uh, Something should say something about tab, VK tab. Okay. Isn't this the same thing? So we got a third time. Huh? Oops. All right. There we go. Is it blank? What is that? Is blank. So first off, this is an inline function. Inline. Inline. I really don't like this. Is blank. I mean, is printable. And then what is blank? So is printable mean it's like, what is it? Isn't it just like the reverse of this? I'm just a little bit confused. So if it's printable, it's not a blank. And then if it's a blank, it doesn't really make sense to have this. Just don't like this at all, dude. It's just so. Yeah. No thanks. De Morgans. Just apply De Morgans, bro. Push it out to prod. It's okay. Um, uh, these just aren't the same thing. But that's good. Oops. Except for the whole tab not being there. I don't do too much without testing this. I mean, I know that this is gonna work because I'm skilled enough. But I mean, to be honest, a lot of times when I do this programming stuff, like I'm so skilled, I don't really think too far into it. So no, I just would rather test it. Like, yeah, that looks right, right? Ship it to prod, baby. Woo! And then return not ch is printable. And then we'll just let the compiler figure that shit out, right? That makes more sense. That other code was garbage. Can't believe it's been up there for that long. Yeah, this logically makes more sense too, because greater than, and then logically, since this is included, this is not this item equaled 9 is not like included in this statement. So this is saying is greater than this, and then we have to be like except for that one, or if it's the tab. That makes sense. We'll just ship that out to prod. And then this thing will just apply De Morgans for me. So I don't really have to like apply De Morgans on this. We'll just let the compiler do the work there because I know that it's going to do it. So, do we have any other inline in here? Is this another inline? More inline code? A sprint? Woo! Templates it all anywhere here. Whee! S print and then I don't like how all the S prints are next to each other. So you can see that I don't know if this is even a problem with the design because it's like, we need the compiler to see the inline. So I don't think that's ever really going to matter because we just use one CPP file. So like, where would this be a problem to just use one CPP file? This would be a problem if you're relying on static memory to be isolated. You're not using different variable names. Possibly you're utilizing one set of code to do different things in different translation units. I think that these are like fringe cases. I don't really necessarily think that it's like something that I should be worrying about. I wonder whether or not it's actually working. I really wish OBS would stop freezing. I have no idea what's going wrong with OBS. It's completely froze up for me right now. So, wait, that's not what I wanted to see. Uh-oh. I'm completely froze up here. I'm just gonna see if your connector encoder. Okay, is it now we're moving? Move my arms. Oh, I'm frozen up. All right. What do we got? Damn it. OBS crashed. Now it's gonna be okay. I wish I could diagnose why OBS is crashing. It's crashing on my desktop and on my new laptop. OBS is the worst sometimes. Often, quite often, it's like it's a frenemy. It's always knifing you in the back. Oh, this should probably not exist. Huh? Let's print. Damn. Previous log file. I'm gonna see if I can get the previous log file to analyze. Wi-Fi streaming. It says I don't have anything critical. I really wish I knew what was causing my OBS to be a total POS. Crashing all the time. So S print. String print. This one's fine. When does it not become not fine? So S scan. So where was the problem? Somewhere on these S scans, maybe up at the top. So CHC, and then I'm scanning a char A. I don't think that I'm not sure that I need this. Do I need this? Does this make any sense? I don't think it really makes sense. CHC and then scan a CHB. It also, too, doesn't make sense. It's just not something that I would do. I would scan the CHC. Oh, actually, no, this one's. I just want this one. But there has to be. B. See, this makes sense. This doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to support that one. And CHB, CHA. This also, too, doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. We scan a CHC with a 16-bit Unicode. We don't use a 8-bit Unicode or an 8-bit ASCII character for anything when we're scanning. So here, this is an 8-bit Unicode string. So this is the one that needs to get moved to where the other ones. And is this a duplicate? Const. This one goes up here. This we don't call that. But then, so this is the right one, and then this was the one that I added. This is not correct. Don't I already have this, though? Oh, that's the print function. I bozoed it. Unfortunately, this is some clown code over here. Maybe you shouldn't be watching my live stream. Shit. Fun. All right. So, got to scan forward. Now we're going to take char AC is going to be equal to 0. Now we're going to do scan. Oh, wait, this is scan, huh? Okay. Never mind about that one. Equals. So first off, we got to check F is error start return. Wait, no. Oh, was that garbage? Turn, no. IAM equals, oh wait, let's see. So we just gotta take this. Now we say, hold on. Wait. Okay. So what do we do? Like shift it over 5. So am I supposed to be doing conformance testing here? I mean, I could just like zippity do with the just looking at the just look for that. But I should probably do conformance testing here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do what I know is right thing to do. Um, and then we will just do our if. We'll just repeat the code because it works faster that way. So if C left 5. Wait, so what's the first one that we check this one first? Because that couldn't be that, then that couldn't be that. Okay. And so this is what? 4 plus 2 is 6. 6. Then wait, B, 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 B. Where's B, 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 B? Oh, sorry. Actually, I'm being a bozo. Okay. Wait. Okay. Yeah, sure. Six. Well, that's what the yeah. I would agree with that. That is correct. All right. So now let us do this. So 6 plus what 8 is 14, right? Shift 4. Right. So then we're on this one. Wait. No, item is equal to something tells me I probably shouldn't use item to write to, but I don't know. I could get debug information. So if it fails, I'm going to return null, and that's what I want for sure. But I have two options. I can create like another variable that's like C2, or I can just write it out to item. I'm just gonna write it out to item because I can at least get some debug information. It seems to be, if you don't recheck your return types being invalid, I think that's on you though, right? Right, because let's say that the string is messed up. So it's not formatted correctly. What should happen in a situation like that? Oops. I need the B down here at the bottom. All right. So I guess I should. Well, the B, first off, I'm going to have to mask off. Anyway, so I can just take with the A mask and then shift over. So what is this? To one shift C and the mask, which is 3 is 2 bits plus 4, so that's going to be 6 bits. There's how many A's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh? I don't think this mask is correct. Because this is only 4, right? 4 plus 1. So this is 4, and there's a plus 1. Okay. All right. So now C is equal to this. F C shift. Oh, that's huh? 5 is not equal to 2. Get that. This would be This one's 6. What the hell was I thinking? Boy, I did a bozo job, huh? Okay. Or item or equals, and then it's C and uh it's 3F. Yes, that one's 3F, right? Yes, that is correct. Shit. Equal to 6. Man, it's unfortunate my OBS keeps stalling. Now, on the second one, what do we got? Or sorry, the third one. It's CCCB. So we do a mask with only now 4. So this mask just becomes the F. And then C again. And then this one's supposed to say 6 plus 8 is 14. So item or equals C and OX 3F. And this is the second one though, so I have to shift. Do a shift. And this one is not. This one is the second one. 6, whatever it is, there's 6 of these, 6 of these. Okay. So the shift is still 6. And this is still a 3F or a 1F, right? Wait, the first one? No, because this is the first one. The first one now it's an F, and then I'm shifting it over 6. No, this is the second one. Sorry. So we're gonna have to do the shift over with. A. So this one's not 6. This one's 12. And then the next one is a shift 6. Or equals C. Shift 6 for this one. 12 for the A, 6 for this one. Then we got to do one more for the C. Wait, hold on. Shift 4 is equal to. Kind of complicated, but not. I mean, this is like, an easy problem. And so we put 3 together. Now let's put 4 together. Now we do what? Plus 16? Yeah, 30. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And this now we just add another 6. Now this one's 12. And then we do the same thing. That's it. But we have to load it twice. Oh, we need to add an extra one down here for uh, without the shift. This one is shift 1 6 12. Now, don't we need an extra one in here? 1, 2, 3, the third byte. So now we need a third one. So we want the third one. We just add what, 6, 22. This turns into 18. And then this one is 7. Is it shift? I don't know what it's saying. Hold on. How many is this to shift? There's 3 times 6. So we shift over 18. Right. But then why is this one wrong? This one's 12, right? This one's 6. Gotcha. Well, the LLM can be useful sometimes. A lot of percentages of the times, it's not that useful. Sometimes, though, it's indispensable. And that's 2, is these things. All right, I think that this is correct. Return. I don't know if this is necessarily how I want it, but I think that maybe you know they were happy with that before. So we're just saying we're only returning. Wait, hold on. This is a null putter. No, we do nil. We're gonna add this to our version of C++. Let's go over the logic one more time. So we load the first character. So if the character is an ASCII character, we just write the item to C. Else, if it's shift 6, which is a 6, this is 4, 2, 4 plus 2 right here. From there, you just add 8 and 16. So 6 plus 8, 14, and then 18, or 14 plus 16 is 30. So I'm walking through the logic of how I came to this result. So we got C is what we take a C. So the first thing we're always going to write is the A nibbles, which are at the end. Got to shift those out. Okay. CNOX3F. One thing is I don't know if I need to set item to 0. Oops. What to do? I think that this is correct. So let's go down to this next one. Where's the next bit pattern here? All right. Where's scan? String scan is what that means. So now let's look for string scan with the CHB char. Where is this? Okay. Looking bozo. Looking pretty bozo right now, dude. Not gonna lie. This is retarded. All right, so CHB, we got a CHB, but we have to have a CHC here, and we can't scan an ASCII character. You're just gonna have to use the correct way to use Unicode. All right, so what do we got? We got 2 bytes. What? This doesn't make any sense. Uh-oh. This is the bit pattern. Where did this come from? I don't know why this is like this. Oof, this code is so old. Oh my god, it makes me want to cringe just looking at it. See, but this doesn't make it any. Hold on. Why is this like this? Is this just like some example? Okay. All right, here we go. First off, we gotta check if the string's in error. It is error. F C shift 10. Okay, that's fine. And then we need to check now. Else F C shift 10 equals 54. And what is this? 2, 4, that's 6 right here. 6 plus 16 plus 32. 54. Okay, LLM is right as usual. Wait, why did this thing pop up with this? Oh, you're doing my job for me. What the hell? This is 8. 3 of them, that's 10. All right. Does that look good? Item is equal to that. Shift 10. Okay, sure. Right. Not equal to 55. And that is this. 4, 5. Return nilp. Else not, then items or equal to that the mask. That looks correct. Except that's not how I'm doing. We just got one return. I would like that. I think that looks good if you ask me. And then the scan 32 or UTF 32 one is just basic. Scan. Uh-oh. See, I don't really necessarily want to do this. Usually I have like NC at the end if it for a no check. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I need that. It's going to slow down my strings. You know, it's a design choice if I want that to be an error. I want it to run faster. All right. So what else do we got to do? Scan back. So the scan back one, that's actually quite a bit more interesting of a function. Where's the scan back? All right. S scan cha a back. This one's not easy. This one's not hard at all. We just do um, cha a um, and this one gets more interesting. Oh right. So I think I bozoed that. I don't know why I was thinking I was gonna do that. Don't ask me. Don't make fun of me. Hey man, don't be picking on retarded people. Okay. First off, I'm gonna put my thing that I don't know if I need. F is error return delta. I'm gonna comment it out because I don't know if I want to do that right now. That requires a commitment right there. It's only a stylistic choice. It's not a requirement. You're trading off there. It's like I'm not really trying to make any trade-offs right there. But I might. All right. So now this is the tricky one. So okay. So F C shift. Wait. So F C back 7 equals 0. Then M equals C. Return it. Wait, I want to scan back no check too because I might have already checked. It's not that complicated, but damn. I'm not happy that I have to do this, but it's happy that it will be done. So, I mean, I try not to be too upset about that. Um, I'm gonna need like 3 different versions of this function. It's not gonna be fun to write this, just because it's like a tediously repeating one, but it's not super big, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. All right. Scan back. Just don't really particularly need this particular function right now. I actually just want to scan back. I just want to go back one. I don't necessarily need the item. Okay, and then I basically just say item equals C. So 2, 3. Okay, and then we do um, C equals dwrap minus minus stir. Okay, F FC shift down 7 is equal to 0. That was only 2 bytes. And then item is or equal with the. Where am I getting 1F? Oh, because it was 2 bytes, right? So 1F is the A's up here. Okay. And it's equal to. Um, I'm like deeply nesting this. I don't really necessarily want to do that, but it kind of makes sense to deeply nest it here because I'm walking back. I don't really want to do this, but this is a rare example of when it makes a little bit more sense to do that. All right, so this is wait, no, no, I have to test to see if it's a legit 3 byte first. Okay. Three byte. Okay, so there's only up to 3 bytes. How many bits is this? I thought there was one more row. Sorry. Right. What happened? Oh, I lost my space. With the scan back, right? Scan back. I don't think I'm gonna do this one. I just don't want the. I only really want the UTF-32 version of that. This one. It's a lot easier to write. So scan. Where's the scan back? That was just working. The deeply nested. Damn. Here it is. Oh, here it is. Wait, hold on. I'm confused. Why is there a 1, 2, 3 byte thing here? Where did that one come from? Right, I don't need to be scrolling all over the place really fast. You know, why not this one? What happened here? S print, and then this is a B? This just isn't true. Why? I'm trying to scan a B? This doesn't make any sense at all. Did I take out one? I don't think that this should even exist. This looks completely bozo. I don't know why that's there. Yeah, have that out. So then I just need to go through here and then scan back. I thought I just wrote those. Oh no. Um, yeah, that one doesn't make any sense. It's supposed to just have this one. This one does it all. This just looks like nonsense. Scan back and so scan back is Document and scan back. Go. Yeah, I don't need that. Right. Oh, yeah, still got that. Scan back. Yeah, I'm not doing that. That one didn't work. Well, I'm almost up at that hour. One person viewed for just a little bit of time. Clearly, the thumbnail wasn't the thing causing. Okay. So I also need the scan back that doesn't have the character because I prefer to just. I would prefer to do it quicker, but I want to get these functions implemented as soon as possible. So here's the scan back. So is error string. Wait. No. Right. Um. That one's nice and easy. Okay. Any of these other ones say stir? All right. Good to go on that. God damn. I lost my position. This is just an ASCII string. All right. So here's a UTF-16 or a UTF-32 string. Sorry, UTF-8 string. I'm being a bozo right now. Oh yeah, this one is the hard one. Right. Where's the CHB? CHB. This is the one. So F D shift 10 is equal to 30. I am equal C return stir. What's wrong with this? Oops. No, because this is here's 6, right? 4, 2, 1. Skipping the 8, we get 1632. So what is that? 54. What is it? So this is just the only way that there could be an error is F. Wait, this is not equal to 0. Taking care of this. So this is gone. And then we have to check for both numbers. So this one needs to be first. We're checking if it's not equal to 55 on this one. Wait, because it wasn't. We checked to see if it wasn't this. Wasn't this. So now the first one we're getting here is this one, which is 55. Because it has the 1 here instead of the 0. And so that X, that goes in there. So we don't need to shift. Okay, I think that one's right. And then this one's nice and easy, right? Oh, shoot. What's that? All right, so there's a red thingy up here. Like, what's this? Shouldn't have a red thingy over here. Here it is. A sprint. We don't do this one, right? Yeah, I just stopped doing that one. So let's see if it blows anything up. Bah. What do we got for the messages first? Release included more than once, huh? That's just some random weird error, I think. Not supposed to be like that. String.hxx. Stringf.hxx. All right, well, it's dinner time for me. I'm gonna go get some dinner. Nobody tuned in, but hey, thanks for watching for anybody else. I'm gonna come back on. I'm gonna fix this stuff off stream, and then what am I trying to do? What's the work? Oh, I was clicking in OBS. So what has to happen? The all the stir plus plus calls like this has to go. So I'm gonna get that figured out, but I think I can't have this. So this looks like this is not compatible with the Unicode API. So we have to have a char for the string type and then a char's type that we're trying to scan. And then if I don't have that, the algorithm does not work because it cannot tell the difference between a Unicode and an ASCII string. So I'm going to take care of that, and then hopefully won't be too much more here to do.